Hi there. Today is another talk through video. I'm gonna do my makeup. We're gonna get ready. We're gonna do a shoot and I'm gonna show you all what I would have wore to this year's Met Gala. This is the designer that really stuck out to me on the 2024 runway. So this is how I'm making this assumption as to what I would have wore to this year's Met Gala, aligning with the theme, A Garden in Time, or The Garden of Time, I believe is the theme. I've been following this designer on Instagram for a long time. I don't want to butcher their name, so if I butcher their name, please forgive me, but I believe his name is Rahul Mishra. I may have mispronounced that horribly. Their recent collection, oh my gosh, it's entitled Superheroes. Let me actually read you their description for this collection. Their Couture Spring 2024 collection entitled Superheroes. This is what they have to say about it. Superheroes draws attention to the nuances of sharing life with species of reptiles and insects that share the environment with us. With more species being imperiled by the day, Rahul Mishra contemplates the general human condition of the mind, as we find ourselves averted, distressed, and even scared at the slightest confrontation with these benign species within man-made spaces. Deep. It's deep. And you can tell by each piece they're inspired by a certain insect, bug, reptile, things that you would kind of find mostly outside but within a garden. I think that going this route at the Met Gala, because okay, Garden of Time, everyone's gonna do florals. That's what we expected. Everyone was going to do a floral pattern, big flowers, you know, the whole nine. But centering it around the insects of the garden, creatures that keep the garden flowing and moving and flourishing, really good take. Today we're going to be recreating their opening look. It's called Dragonfly in a Petri Dish. Iconic. I saw this and I was like, my heart stopped. It was stunning. And then when you learn the name of this piece, you're like, oh my gosh, that is a dragonfly in a petri dish. I'll read you what the designer has to say about this particular look. Dragonfly in a petri dish. It's disheartening to envision a future where a magnificent creature like the dragonfly is first discovered by a young child in their school's biology lab as a specimen in a petri dish. Dragonflies in rich diversity have thrived on Earth for millions of years. Superheroes draws attention to the nuances of sharing life through species and reptiles and insects that share the environment with us. In pursuit of building our lives on the planet, we may have taken over their habitats and driven them to extinction. Oh my God! So deep. I can't imagine a life without dragonflies. Rahul, I give you your flowers. Like, this is awesome. And so I want to pay tribute to this look in the best form of flattery, which is imitation. I actually already made the piece. It's definitely not comparable to Rahul's, but I just wanted to rock this look on my own because I was just so heavily inspired by this entire collection. If you haven't seen the collection, go check it out. Let's get started. My face is going to be slightly obstructed by the mesh of this piece, so I'm not going to do a crazy makeup look. I'm honestly just going to do my basic black smoky eye. Let's start from the very beginning. I was like, what could give me this circular shape to resemble a petri dish? So I was like, hula hoops. Let me go find like a dollar hula hoop. I then went to Dollar Tree, which love Dollar Tree, glad they're still open. Went to Dollar Tree, found two different size hula hoops. And I was like, I wonder how easy it is to take apart a hula hoop. I began taking them apart, so I found that it was just taped together. So it's like clasped together and then there's tape wrapped around it to secure it. Which hula hoops were my favorite thing as a kid growing up. Like, I loved the hula hoop. I could out hula hoop anybody still to this day. Then I realized, the clasps are the same on both hula hoops. What if I just connected them to each other? And that's what I did. It worked out perfectly. This project did take me a long time. I began this project in the beginning of May and I just finished it yesterday. Moving on to foundation. So then I taped them back together, taped them to each other using duct tape, and then went out into my backyard, spray painted them black, and let them dry. After this, I had went to Joann's, the fabric store, and I got this black mesh type of fabric, and also I got this iridescent looking fabric for the wings of the dragonfly. I took the black mesh and I glued it on. That was the first thing I did once the hula hoop dried. Now, these next few steps made me tap into my really, really artistic and creative side, because I had to like freehand this dragonfly. And I always do this. I went into this project being like, oh yeah, I can do that. That's so easy. I've never drawn a dragonfly before in my life. I freehand these wings, and I did about 3 layers of the iridescent fabric because I didn't want it to be crazy transparent. And then I glued them together. So once I did the wings, I set the wings aside. And okay, the reason this project took so long is I glued all the rhinestones on individually. I got spray adhesive and I would spray certain sections, take my little wax pen, that's what I use a wax pen, and then would go crazy. Just bedazzling for hours. But so well worth it. Finally completed bedazzling. And I think I used bedazzling as to kind of procrastinate from making this dragonfly. I used that same spray adhesive and began gluing the wings on. I began drawing the designs of the wings. I do think, because I drew it, I was like, this looks kind of cartoony. When you look at it from far away, you're like, oh yeah, this dragonfly wings, like you need those. But close up, I'm like, ew, I drew those. But it works out. We're just trying to fool the camera here. So actually, let me back up. So when I went to Joann's, I got the black mesh fabric, I got the iridescent fabric, but I also stumbled upon this, I don't even know how long it was because I found it on the floor, but it was just this plain white fabric. I was like, oh, I can use this to paint the dragonfly on. Yes, I was like, I'm gonna just paint this dragonfly. And I'm gonna just look at the picture, paint the dragonfly, and it's gonna work out. And I admire my confidence. I guess my advice, and me talking as if you wanna recreate this look, and you might. But my advice for painting in general is just keep adding more paint. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like if you add more, you're gonna ruin it. You're not. I went through a series of just adding more paint, messing up, redoing it by adding more paint, and then keep going until I got to a place where I liked it. And I just honestly was just using these 4 colors. I think I got a blue, a metallic brown, a antique white, and a yellow. I think this smoky eye is looking pretty good. And once that was completed, I glued it onto the hula hoop. Now, getting into, do I say mechanics of this piece, the functionality, I saw several celebrities wearing this particular look, but I was noticing that they were wearing different dresses. But I was like, how did they do this? My 2 thoughts were, there's a waistband glued to the dragonfly part and maybe they wrapped it around their waist, or it's like a hook and it's hooking to like the front. So what I did was I took a wreath hanger. Yes, a wreath hanger, because I was like, this is perfect. It'll hook to my dress and I can glue it onto this piece and call it a day. And so that's what I did. I took the wreath hanger. I actually sawed off the end, so like the hook part at the end, glued the long flat side to the piece, and then we're gonna hook this part onto my dress and hope that it stays. I'm gonna do my lips and my lashes off camera and I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is the final look. Did my typical lip, typical lashes, but time for the reveal. Let's do this. It took me a lot longer than I expected putting together this piece. Completely worth it. I'm in love with it, and I hope I did it justice. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. Till next time, bye.